Formula One thrives on rivalries, pressure, and the fine margins that separate the greats from the almost great. Yet few could have predicted that the quiet and unflappable Oscar Piastri would emerge as the disruptor-in-chief, not just rewriting the reliability records but striking a psychological blow against the giants of the sport, namely Max Verstappen. What was once Verstappen's trademark has been stolen, polished and paraded by McLaren's golden boy, and the Dutchman does not look impressed. At Monza, the so-called Temple of Speed, the 24-year-old Australian carved his name into the record books, racking up a scarcely believable 44 consecutive race finishes, moving beyond Verstappen's mark of 43. Only Lewis Hamilton's legendary tally of 48 stands ahead, and now the whispers in the paddock are getting louder. Piastri might just be on course to shatter it. But this isn't just about cold, hard statistics. This is about ego, dominance, and the fragile pride of champions. Verstappen, once the man untouchable in consistency, suddenly finds his reputation as F1's Iron Man being prized away by a rival 8 years his junior. Those close to Red Bull's camp have hinted that Verstappen is far from indifferent. He doesn't like anyone stepping into his territory, one senior figure noted. McLaren's garage, meanwhile, is a pressure cooker of its own. Piastri's calm approach has seen him accumulate a 31-point cushion over teammate Lando Norris, whose season has been haunted by errors and mechanical gremlins. 2 costly retirements, one his own fault in Canada, the other an engine implosion in Zandvoort, have widened the gulf between the pair. In cold numbers, Norris should be within touching distance. Instead, he is staring at a chasm and the very real possibility of being forced into a support role. And here's where the controversy deepens. McLaren's team orders. At Monza, fans and pundits alike were quick to spot the subtle signals from the pit wall. Was Norris deliberately reined in to protect Piastri's streak and championship lead? Team boss Andrea Stella denies it, but many in the paddock are unconvinced. When you've got one driver faultless and another accident-prone, you don't need to say much, a rival engineer quipped. For Verstappen, though, the story is more sinister. He may have claimed a dominant Italian Grand Prix win, but the fact remains his own streaks have faltered. His last reliability run ended in Austria. After contact with rookie Kimi Antonelli, a moment Verstappen privately still fumes over. Now, to be upstaged by Piastri in the reliability stakes feels like a personal affront. The Dutchman is not one to take threats lightly. Already, Red Bull insiders suggest Verstappen's demeanour has shifted. More closed off, more sharp-edged in briefings, and far less forgiving in wheel-to-wheel skirmishes. Should the championship tighten in the final rounds, don't expect Verstappen to yield an inch to the Australian. The threat to his dominance is real, and Max knows it. Only Hamilton's 48-race benchmark now stands in Piastri's way, and should he reach Sao Paulo with his streak intact, the record will be his. The irony? Hamilton's own streak ended after a collision with Verstappen at Monza in 2021. Fate, it seems, has a sense of humour, and Verstappen may yet find himself again as the wrecking ball in someone else's historic run. George Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, and the rest of the field can only look on from the shadows, their own finishing streaks mere footnotes in comparison. The real battle lies between the new McLaren star who is redefining what it means to be clinical and the reigning champion whose aura of invincibility is being chipped away one race at a time. The Italian Grand Prix may have crowned Verstappen the race winner, but the headlines, the statistics, and the whispers in the paddock belong to Piastri. Behind the scenes, chaos is brewing, rivalries are sharpening, and one thing is becoming clear. Formula One's balance of power is shifting, and Verstappen is no longer untouchable. Whispers in the hospitality units at Monza hinted that Verstappen's father, Jos, has privately warned Red Bull that allowing Piastri to seize control of the narrative could weaken Max's stranglehold on the sport. It is not the first time the Verstappen camp has been accused of applying pressure behind closed doors, but the timing is telling. The Dutch star's entourage reportedly see McLaren's rise and Piastri's relentless composure as a direct assault on Max's authority in the championship. Meanwhile, tension is also beginning to spill into the driver market. Rival teams have taken notice of Piastri's icy efficiency, with paddock insiders suggesting Ferrari and Mercedes scouts have been quietly inquiring about his long-term plans despite his McLaren contract. That sort of chatter only fuels speculation that Norris could eventually be forced out or pushed into the dreaded number 2 label, a tag no ambitious racer ever wants to carry. Fans too are fanning the flames. Social media lit up after Monza, with many hailing Piastri as the anti-Verstappen, cool-headed, unflustered and quietly lethal. For others, this is the perfect storm brewing. The young Australian standing toe-to-toe with a reigning titan, while Norris fights desperately to stay relevant. The championship may still have 8 rounds left, but the battle lines are already drawn and the psychological war could prove more decisive than the stopwatch.